Hey Siri, next song.
I used to want to see the penitentiary way after elementary. Thought it was cool to look the judge in the face when he sentenced me. Cause my uncle was institutionalized. Said I was suited for family size.
What the frig?
I need me a weapon. These niggas ride every minute, hour, second. Ministers try to take me. How I'm gonna listen when I don't even hear God? Heaven or hell, based it out on my instincts. My hands dirty, you worry about mud in your sink. You like to mistake a street nigga for real nigga. The same nigga that kill with you, will with you. I deal with you like my son, the son. You'll be looking in my eyes, talking, stand for something to fall for anything. And you working with that beat at the skate ring. When you look at my niggas, uncles, 23 hours sending me pictures. I want you to know that I'm so determined.
Hello. Today I am finishing up my Kimiko. The other day I left off with it didn't work. The switches worked and stuff like that, but none of the LEDs worked. Bummer. So today I'm going to figure out why none of the LEDs work. It's probably just a, bad connection on one of the LED pads, because that's what it always is. But we'll see, and we're going to play around with it and figure out what's wrong, get it fixed. Then do the other half, which still needs LEDs. But that at least, half of the LEDs are done. So do the other half, then do the controllers, the TRRS jacks, reset switch, all that good stuff. Actually, I'm probably not going to do a reset switch on this because I don't have any extras. And then assemble it all and finish it up. So it should be a good, I'd say, couple more hours because of all the LEDs. Since I threw my controllers back in the bin, I don't know I don't know what's what. So I'm just going to reflash the controllers because it only takes a second. And it's ready for me to do that. So reset and ground. Oh, this is... Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Okay. Well, that's weird. Oh, it failed. Okay. So, clear EEPROM. Reset again. Flash. There we go. All right. So this goes upside down. This is kind of confusing because no, it goes up. No. The labels on this, I'm not really sure what they line up with. Because this leads me to believe that it should be this way, but I'm 90% certain it should not be this way. But if I flip it over... Okay, yeah. This is correct. Never mind. I was just not flipping it twice in my brain. Okay. I didn't bring down a micro USB mag socket. I should fix that. Okay, so as the other day, none of the LEDs work. So let's fix that. Let's fire up the iron. And what we're going to do is we're just going to reflow this LED. I have checked it. The notch is in the correct place. And I switched my monitor around, so I've got confidence display over here, regular monitor over here, and I don't know if I like it yet because this one feels so far away. I really should just mount them up on the wall behind the desk, but that would require effort. So we'll see. So yeah, and I don't know what. This is not the radio or music I was hoping to get today. Let me just find something else. Hello, Kaz. How you doing? There we go. No idea what this is. We're gonna listen to it. I don't think you can hear it, so that's a good thing, because then I don't have to worry about copyright. Okay, so still not lit up. We've got the soldering iron hot. And you know what? I am actually, real quick, I'm going to run upstairs and grab a hot swap. Because I'm going to be unplugging and plugging this thing a lot, and I don't want to break the tip off. I'll be right back. Okay. Pinback. What is pinback? Hey Siri, play some pinback. Okay, that's dumb. Hey Siri, play some pinback. Shut up, Siri. So the fun part about Siri is when you have as many Apple devices as I have, it gets really confused of which one you're talking to sometimes. So I had music playing on the speakers. I said, hey Siri, play some pinback. My watch picked it up and starts playing it off my phone. Oh god, and Siri just did it again. Here, maybe I'll just leave that there so that you can see the face recognition scanner. Oh. Never mind, it went to sleep. Anyways. Ah, what a day. Alright, let's use a little bit of flux. Because there is no such thing as too much flux. Actually, there totally is, but we're going to pretend for the day like there isn't such a thing as too much flux. What the fuck is this? Is that what I'm missing? Okay, I'm gonna look at the build guide. See, at least Siri kind of gets around that by saying, you know, like you kind of train it with your voice. But when, you know, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Siri, hey Siri device. Damn it. I have 4 Siri devices just sitting on my desk in front of me. I have another one in my backpack down here. And I guess I only have one upstairs now because I don't have a laptop up there. Well, I guess I also have a laptop here. Anyways, I've got a shitload of stuff. Anyways. Yeah, what a day. Just some drama in the cancer friend's house. It's nothing I can do anything about, which is part of why it sucks. Okay, build guide. Yes. So what I'm thinking, there's this thing here that says VCC LED ground. And it's right next to LED 1. I'm not sure what that means. I've never seen that on a board before. So I'm going to look it up, because maybe that's related to why my LEDs don't work. SMD LEDs, temperature sensitive. Okay, Siri, not Siri, but oh, that's not G. Okay. RGB LEDs. Okay. Oh wait, I can actually make it so you can see my window now too. Show. No, wrong thing. Window capture. There. Here's the pop out button here. Pop out checked. There we go. So there's the VCC LED ground. Doesn't say anything about it though. Sockets can also be held in place by hand, but this is also talking about the oh, this is talking about the switch sockets. Okay. The hot swaps. So that's not even related. So let's go Command G. Switch LED is facing down. Okay, and that's background at the top. So I don't know. We're gonna leave that alone. I suspect this is for if you're doing an LED strip. Instead of, or maybe in addition to the matrix RGB, I don't know, but we'll see. I did reflow that whole switch, or that whole thing. So let's, whoops, damn it, so many cables on my desk. Nada. WTF, mate. Okay, so let me just see. I will go look at the default key map. QMK configurator. Okay, so Kimiko. Let's see. How do I turn RGBs on and off? So it's on layer 3, this key. But I bet you I need to have both boards attached to get to layer 3. So I am going to change this so that this button here is the RGB toggle. This is one thing I really love about the QMK thing, is I can just like turn on the RGB, or I can build a key map here. Keyboard settings. RGB toggle. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to fix the so you can hear the music and it's not terrible, because I can just turn it up louder and you can pick it up out of the mic, but it's not going to sound very good, especially if I have the fan on. But I'm not playing it through my computer, I'm just playing it through the speakers on my desk. So playing it through the computer, like, unless I was just playing different music through the stream and the computer, but that doesn't make sense to me. So, I don't know. Someday maybe I'll figure that out. Not today, though. I just can't be arsed today. Okay, compile key map. I love the baking potato thing. I don't really understand the origin of it, but I love it. Okay, firmware. Yes, leave page. Okay. So that is now downloaded. Keycaps, Kimiko, Rev1 layout mine. Okay. And you can't see it, but I'm about to flash this controller. So we clear EEPROM, because why not? Flash. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we'll plug it back in. It's still not lit, but let's plug in a switch here. Switch here. Nothing. What the hell? Okay. I suspect that this is not like a serious problem with my soldering job, that there's something else wonky. And I'm gonna punt on this for the moment, I think. We're gonna go do the other board. And then I'm gonna solder. No, I'll socket these. I'll socket these controllers. I think there's just something that's not making contact with the, excuse me, with the on through headers or something. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the noise canceling is probably picking up the music occasionally while I'm talking. But for the most part, it's like below the noise floor. So it's like, okay, we're just going to leave it off. All right. So on these, the orientation of the diodes is all to the right. Get my diodes out, or RGBs out. so I can use them. Got our solder paste. See, Kaz, when you say soldering is scary, you're not wrong. But then I'd show you stuff like solder paste, and I think you'd be a lot less afraid of it. Especially if I was doing it right and like using either a hot air gun or a hot plate or an oven or something like that to actually bake the solder paste instead of just flowing it manually with my iron. And even more so if I had like a solder template, or a stencil rather, and I could just smear the solder on real quick. Come on, stick on there. There we go. I really want to figure out a better camera so that I can zoom in really close, but not have the camera like 2 inches above the board so that I can still see. Really, I just need something with a long lens on it. Well, Kaz, actually, wait a minute. You're into the mirrorless Micro Four Thirds or whatever, right? Cameras? Like you're into that sort of shebang? Yeah, you can definitely do it. I mean, I'm a little biased because I really like Thomas and I'm a mod on his Discord and stuff. But I would say the Kyria, if you leave off the RGBs, is about the easiest keyboard you can build. It's all through-hole components. It's soldered switches, like, unless you want to do the Milmax hot swap sockets, but those are actually kind of a pain in the ass. But, like, pretty straightforward. And I think the older corns have support for through-hole diodes. But really, surface mount diodes aren't that hard. They're just a little bit fiddly. But through-hole diodes, I mean, it's really hard to screw those up. Put them in backward. It's about the only way you can screw them up. They're even pretty heat resilient. Like, okay, someone was talking about them one day, so I was just curious. Because I think that's the way I want to go. Get a mirrorless camera with a just kind of a longer lens on it. Then I also have more control over exposure settings, and I can hopefully fix the focus on it and without having to get the janky software. Because I'm pretty sure I can do fixed focus with this thing, but I have to install the rando Logitech software, and I just don't know if I trust their software that much. Like, I have a Logitech trackball. Or no. I mean, I have this too. But I have a Logitech mouse. And in order to use the side buttons and stuff like that, at least on Mac, it requires you to install their software. And it asks for, like, permission to read all of your device input. And I'm like, you mean like a keylogger? I mean, I get it's Logitech, so it's probably legit, but it's still just sketch. It's just like, what? Dude, shouldn't need this. And I don't know who to blame, if it's Apple because their permissions or Logitech because they're trying to make their software. They're trying to like, it's like printer manufacturers who, you know, oh, install the software or whatever. It's like, you don't need to install software for a printer. Come on, that shit's been standardized for decades. Just print. It just works. But they're like, oh, well, you install our software and you get this, like, you know, whatever random janky ass shit that someone paid them to include. Crapware. Well, see, and this again, I said might be Apple's thing, might be Apple's fault, but I don't think the side buttons work at all unless you have the software installed, because it's actually doing the interpretation of what it should be. But I'm not 100% about that, because I want to say back in the day, the original Microsoft mouse, right? Like the original Microsoft optical mouse that I had in like 2001 when I was in college. I thought it was the shit. It had the forward and backward buttons on the side, and I want to say that worked out of the box on the Mac. I really want to say that. I mean, that was a long fucking time ago, and maybe it changed, but I really want to say that worked out of the box. And that's kind of like, if it worked 20 years ago on the Microsoft mouse on a Mac, like, it shouldn't have changed that much. Well, but Linux has just drivers for everything. And it's not like those buttons are doing anything really fancy. It's just mouse 4, mouse 5. But apparently that isn't mappable by default on Mac OS. But I want to say you used to be able to do it. And that's the thing that's frustrating. It's like, I swear I did that. Okay, and before we go too far on this one, might as well pop in the controller and see if I screwed up the LEDs. Okay. Yeah, I used to Linux on the desktop way back in the day, and it's fine. But I just got really sick of having to fuck with everything all the time. If you're into that sort of thing, it's great. But if you're just trying to get work done and stuff like that, it gets frustrating. Okay. See, this side isn't working either. So I either really, 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 really suck at LEDs, or something else is wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Even those don't work on Mac. I don't know. I mean, maybe Logitech is doing something fancy, and those aren't for mouse 4, mouse 5 for whatever reason. But that'd be surprising even for like anything. Like the whole point of HID is that it's supposed to be a standard, right? So yeah, this should be working. I don't get it. For funsies, I'm gonna flip it over and probably blow up my computer. Because I'm shorting raw and ground. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's see if this types, though, just to make sure that the keyboard itself is actually working. Well, that... Oh. It wasn't plugged in. Okay. Yeah, that's working. So, I don't know what's going on. But I'm just going to continue. Something tells me the firmware I'm grabbing from the QMK configurator just doesn't work with LEDs or has it disabled. And I'll just build locally. It's fine. Okay, so I don't screw this up like I did yesterday or the other day. This way, all the notched legs point to the left on this row. Ah. I will say though, the Logitech does make really good mice. They always have. Like the one I have upstairs is unifying receiver and Bluetooth compatible at the same time. So it's got 3 different profiles you can select from. Any of which can be, like, it just defaults to unifying unless it's paired to a Bluetooth device. And it switches basically instantly. Like, I had it switching between my work laptop, my personal laptop, and the unifying receiver, because I had the unifying receiver plugged into my monitor so that it followed my laptop, or followed the monitor, whichever machine my monitor was plugged into. And it was pretty flawless. I'm not saying they make the best mice. I'm just saying they make really good mice. Okay. Notched air or notched leg goes to the right on this row. Okay. I'm not a zoomer. I'm a exennial. And you want to talk about wireless everything. You and your kids with your YouTube on your cell phones. When I grew up, you had to wait 5 minutes for that blurry JPEG porn picture downloaded on your dial-up modem. Get off my lawn. Is that a mouse? I had a G15 or whatever the gaming keyboard was for a while. Had a little display so I could have it show like my character's hit points, and wow, it's kind of cool. I still actually really dig stuff like that. It just, I wish there was standardization around it. Well, my G502's replacement is a G6. You know, the plane. The plane that didn't exist when they made that song. Does it? What does that do? Like, make your keyboard flash when you have a dot on you or something? The only real game I've played forever is World of Warcraft, so that's my context for everything. I will say I like in Borderlands 3, and maybe the other ones, but at least Borderlands 3 on the PS4, the color on the back of your controller changed depending on which element your weapon was, which I thought was a nice touch. Are you at work chatting on Discord? Well, I thought you were working at the record shop, maybe. Or did you leave there? You are the scraper. You've opened up the floodgates to custom roles. Now everyone's gonna want one. See, what's funny is every time I hear scraper, I think of scraper like a car. So I just picture you rolling around with like your body work like half an inch off of the ground or something like that. Oh wait, okay. Well, I mean, are you getting anything out of it besides just the records? Like, are you getting connections in the industry or something like that? Or is this just kind of a fun side thing? You're helping out, you got a couple of records here and there. Because a friend of mine up here just opened a record shop like a year ago, and they're, you know, they're paying the rent with the shop. I don't know if they're yet paying their only employee minimum wage, but they're at least making rent. But he's got like thousands and thousands of gospel records, just thousands of them, like 45s mostly, but you know, he's got some LPs and stuff too. But he's really into that. He's even like going to, I want to say it's in October, he's going to the UK to do a gig and some other stuff. Like, it's just, he's kind of blowing up on the scene, or starting to. Okay, well that one screwed up because I just bridged the pads. I wonder if my friend knows that person. Nah, bridges are easy to fix. The only reason I got a bridge there is because I just had too much solder because I was carrying a lot with me between joints. So it was like every time I would put it down, it'd pick up a little bit of solder. And so then by the time I got there, I just needed to clean the tip more. And then I didn't even need to use any wick because I just kind of like, okay, well, here's the bridge. I just grabbed it and kind of smeared some of it off, wiped it off on the thing, grabbed a little more, smeared it off. It wasn't that big of a bridge. Or do you mean like real bridges? Well, the Corn V3, I'm telling you, these these are the LEDs that the Corn V3 uses, and you can't see it. Sorry. And they're so much easier, so much easier. It's really night and day difference. I don't know if I've had nightmares about real bridges, but I've definitely had nightmares about buildings. But of course, you say that, and now I'm going to have nightmares about bridges. I did last night have a nightmare that, like, my bike got stolen or something. Like, some shit got stolen from somewhere. I had my Bob trailer locked up to a bike rack behind my building, and they stole the wheel off of it, and someone stole a Vespa, because my neighbor has a Vespa or a scooter of some sort. It's just, everything was weird, and then I woke up and Methion on the split keyboard server lost both of his Bachfeets, like, multi-$1,000 cargo bikes last night. Someone broke the lock and stole them out of the parking garage. Fortunately, their insurance is going to pay for it, but the insurance is not happy about it. And of course, they're out bikes now, and then they're, you know, like he was saying, it's not even about the loss of the bikes, it's about the loss of the freedom. Because now he's like, do we even get bikes again? Because if they're just going to get stolen again. So it's pretty sad. For a lot of reasons. Fucking hate bike thieves. Yeah, so if you look here, I really need to get a better light system for this. There's like this extra little dab of solder on the tip of the iron. And that's just carryover, that's just what got lifted up by my soldering iron when I was, you know, drawing some of the paste off. So it's just like, boop, rub it in there, and the excess is all gone. Move on to the next one. That's why I got a bridge. Because I just wasn't doing that enough. No big deal. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's funny, a friend of mine who used to live in Tokyo would he'd never locked his bike up in Tokyo because, like, I would say a good 40% of bicycles in Tokyo are not locked up at all. and 90% of them are locked up only to themselves. So they just have a lock that's like a ring that goes through the rear wheel, and you slide it there, and then it just stands up on its own, because there aren't really bike racks. You just have this like big kickstand thing on your bike that'll hold the back wheel off the ground. And so he was saying that his bike would get stolen from time to time, and he'd just walk down to the train station nearby, and he'd find his bike and walk it and ride it home. Because for the most part, people there were just like, it was an opportunistic thing. It wasn't like they were trying to steal it to score rock or something like that. They were stealing it because it's like they're in a hurry to get to the train station because they're late for work or they're about to miss their train or something, and so they just hop on, ride it to the station, and then leave it. And so he was able to just go get his bike back. And it's like, that is so Japanese, it's not even funny. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good, but there's also a lot of bad. Like, I talk a lot of things about Japan, but I fully recognize that it is a far from perfect society in so many ways. In so many ways that would make it so I can't live there, really. Not just because legally, because I don't have the required thing. You know, like, I don't have a degree, and I don't have all that to be able to actually work there. But just because, like, you know, it's just hard being a foreigner in Japan in general. Like, people just don't want you there unless you're, like, as a tourist, I've never felt more welcome than I've been in Japan. Like, go there, everyone is super nice, super accommodating. They don't care that I don't speak any Japanese. They don't speak any English. We figure out how to communicate, whatever. But I feel like they're really nice to me because they know I'm leaving. But if they found out that I was like, oh, I'm trying to buy a house, or I'm trying to rent an apartment or something, that's a completely different story. And that part doesn't sit right with me. Okay, well, that's all the RGBs on this side too, and they're not working. So I'm going to futz around with the firmware a little bit. No, but I do live in a city where, you know, that sort of stuff happens. We have some of the highest rates of bike theft in the country, and a lot of people without homes who steal bikes for a living. So okay, I can't build on this computer, so we are going to... Hello, MPI Cool. Or MP Cool, whatever. Someday you'll tell me how to pronounce your name. P Cool. Here is my iTerm. There we go. Oh, I didn't click OK on this, so you're not seeing my... There. My bad. Okay, so RGB backlight enable, RGB light enable. Aha! Yeah. So that is why I'm not getting any LEDs. Okay. I think that's all I need. Bluetooth enable, RGB light enable, NKRO enable, command enable, console enable, mouse key, boot magic, blah 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 blah. Okay, so make Kimiko. No wait, need Keycapsss. Kimiko defaults. It's a little too early to call it just yet, but I am fairly certain. Okay. Git checkout, develop, git pull. Whoops. No. Alright, let me just see if the build guide has anything about the firmware. Because maybe I have to use a fork of QMK or something. But I don't think so. Well... Backlight pins not defined. Please configure. Okay. Weird. Is it Rev 1? Nope. Soft serial pin. D2. Okay, hang on. Let me Google for this error. Backlight pin undeclared. Wow, okay, so this was way back in 2007. Let me change the window so you can see what I'm looking at. Safari, nope. Wrong window. Okay. Oh. Git checkout. Oh, come on. Oh, come on now. Ah. I really need to figure out some sort of Dockerified build mechanism, because my Raspberry Pi is great, but I have an M1 Mac here and I'm compiling firmware on my Raspberry Pi. There's just something doesn't seem right. Okay. So I just upgraded QMK firmware, my clone. Oh wait, what? I just ran that. Well then, so I'm 90% certain that this is broken because, or this isn't working because of firmware. But now I can't build the firmware. Okay. I need to stop for now. Not just because of this, but I need to figure out the QMK stuff, and I want to do that in a more comfortable space than like standing here at my desk. But also I've got some stuff, some drama I need to take care of. So I need to bail for a little bit, but I will be back on probably later today. And try to figure this out. I want to try to, I like doing that kind of troubleshooting and debugging on stream because it's like, as someone who struggles often with feeling like, oh, everyone just knows how to do all this stuff, like it's good to show that no, some of this stuff is really complicated or hard or something like that. I want to do it. I want to sit down and do it, not just like stand here trying to flail. And then I've got this other stuff going on in my life right now, and I need to actually step back and take care of that. So, yes, like I said though, I'm fairly certain that like there's probably a couple of RGBs that are broken. Like, I don't have any illusions that I did this perfectly first try. I mean, come on, that would be a miracle. But I'm pretty sure the firmware that I downloaded from QMK's site just doesn't have RGB enabled at all. And that's why the RGBs aren't working at all. That it's not just like I screwed up RGB1 on both boards and I, despite my fixing, haven't been able to fix it. I'm pretty sure it's just a firmware thing. So I'm gonna go take care of some life shit. And I will be back. Thank you for stopping by. And I will probably... I might try to see if I can do this from my iPad sitting at my desk. Because in theory, that's a thing that I can... No, I can't. I can't because Google refuses to see the iPad as a desktop. So they'll say, well, you don't have 1,000 followers, so you can't do mobile streaming. It's like I'm doing it from the webcam built into my iPad, but whatever. We'll figure something out. Maybe I'll drag a chair down here and work on it. But anyways, thanks for stopping by. I'll be back in a little while. Hopefully this stuff is... the drama stuff ends up being positive, but I have a feeling it's not going to be wonderful. So anyways, see y'all later. Love you too, Kaz. Love it, all of you. You're amazing people.